Okay, so today we're going to go over section 9.3, circles. A circle is the set of all points in the plane a given distance from a given point. The given distance is the radius, r, and the given point is the center, hk. The equation of a circle with center at the origin in standard form is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. R is the radius. If the center of the circle is not at the origin, the equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And hk is the center, and r is the radius. Okay, so the first part says write the equation of the circle with the given information. So looking at number 1, the center is 0, 0, and the radius is 3. So you could write x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals 9. You always have to square the radius. You could write it like that if you wanted to, but you also could write it as x squared plus y squared equals 9. Both of them are correct. You won't get any points taken off for using the hk for your 0, 0. Okay, so let's look at number 3. Number 3 gives you some radicals for the center. And the radius is 0.25. So my equation is going to be x minus square root of 2 squared plus y minus 3 radical 7 squared equals the radius squared, which I think is 0.0625 when you square 0.25. So that would be your answer. That's all that you need to do. You can leave it in standard form. Okay, so looking at the next part, it says give the center and the radius of the circle. Graph the circle for numbers 4, 5, and 6. So 4 and 5, they're already in standard form, right? So like on number 4, the center is 0, 0. The radius is 12. On number 5, the center is -3, -7, and the radius is 9. So those aren't too bad. Let's look at number 6. And we're going to rewrite it in standard form, and then we're going to give the center and the radius. Okay, so x squared plus y squared plus 4x equals 9. So that constant on the right side of your equation is going to wind up being the radius squared when we're all done. First thing you want to do is get your like terms together. So I'm going to rewrite this x squared plus 4x, and I'm going to leave some space to complete the square, plus y squared equals 9. So since there's not a linear term for your y, what do you think the k is going to be for the center?
0.
0. Very good. That's right. So I'm going to complete the square for the x's now. I'm going to take the linear coefficient, divide by 2, and square it. So that means I'm going to add 4. So now that's a perfect square trinomial. But to keep it balanced, if I add 4 on the left side, I'm going to add 4 on the right side. When you're working with circles, you're going to work on both sides of the equal sign. The parabola is the only one that you're going to work on just that one side. Everything else we're working on both sides. Okay, so now I can factor this trinomial. It's going to be x plus 2 squared plus y squared equals 13. Okay, so your center is -2, 0, and the radius is the square root of 13. And we'll change that to a decimal for graphing purposes, but that's your center and radius. So since my center is at -2, 0, I'm going to make this x-axis on the left side a little bit longer. So your center is right here, -2, 0. And that radius, the square root of 13, is about 3.61 units long. So we're going to make this as simple as we can to graph these things. From the center point, I'm going to count to the right 3.6 units approximately. So 1, 2, 3, and then a little bit over half is going to be my 1 point. And then up 1, 2, 3.6 to the left, and then down. Okay, so there are my 4 points that I'm going to draw my circle with. And My circles always look terrible. Thank you. So just do the best that you can on it, yes.
How'd you get to +4? I don't understand.
I completed the square. Linear coefficient, divide by 2 and square it. It's like we did yesterday when we completed the square. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's look at number... Okay, so let's do another one. Let's look at number 8. Okay, we're going to do this one together, and then I'm going to let you guys do it on your own. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is get my like terms together. So I'm going to rearrange the equation a little bit. And any constants that you have, you want to put it on the other side of the equal sign, because that's going to give you the radius eventually. So I have x squared minus 18x, and I'm going to leave a space to complete the square, plus y squared minus 18y equals negative 53. Okay, so I'm going to complete the square for the x's, because I want it to be a perfect square trinomial, so I can get it into a binomial square to get it into standard form. My goal is to have it look like this: x minus some number squared plus y minus some number squared equals a number squared. So my linear coefficient is 18. I'm going to take that linear coefficient, divide by 2, and square it. So I need to add 81 to make it a perfect square trinomial, so I can factor that into a binomial squared. Since I add 81 on the left side, I'm going to add 81 on the right side. Then we're going to do the same thing with the y's, because this time the y has a linear number. So take the linear coefficient, divide by 2, square that. I'm going to get 81 again. So add 81 to both sides. Okay, so I have my x trinomial and my y trinomial. I'm going to factor those into binomial squares. So to do that, a shortcut is to take the square root of your quadratic term, square root of your constant, and whatever the sign is for your linear term goes in the middle, and that's squared. So for my y's, take the square root of the quadratic, square root of the constant, the sign of your linear term, and that's squared, and that's going to equal 109.
I get 109. I get how you got this.
81 plus 81 minus 53. It should be 109.
Okay.
Okay, so the center is going to be 99, and the radius is the square root of 109. So if you can simplify that radical, you need to. I think that that's as simple as you can get it to be, though. Okay. So you guys try number 9, and I'll do it up here. Number 9.